it's Amanda and Remy. I got double the Remy's today because my shirt has a Remy. Remy's a Remy. Everybody's a Remy. So today we're going to be going over some holiday romance book recommendations, from novellas to the full-length ones. I've got you covered. If you love romance books like me, be sure to like and subscribe down below for more bookish content. I'd love to have you here, and let's get into it. So the first book is a novella, and it is Christmas on the 13th Floor. This book was so steamy, hot, enemies to lovers, office romance between a boss and his personal assistant, and it was just hot. Like, if you want a hot hating game situation where it's like cut down a lot, this is the one. This is the one. It has the elevator scene spiced up a lot of notches. We follow Presley. She's hated her boss, Mr. Shen, for a long time now, and to get back at him for being the worst, she makes his job harder without being fired. You know what I mean? She just does these little things just to piss him off, and you can feel that tension in the beginning of the book. And what I like about this novella is that a lot of the times with steamy novellas, they cut right to the chase and they're banging. Okay, they're banging right away, which like I can get with, but I felt like I knew these characters a little bit better, so therefore it was more believable that they had a romance, which sometimes I do like to see in my novellas. Let's be honest, for spicy novellas, I'm not here for like a lot of character development. I know what I'm getting into, but for this, it was a surprise to me that we did get somewhat of a plot, and I wished it was a full-length novel. Honestly, that's the one complaint, is that this could be a full-length novel. I think that all of this author's novellas are amazing and could be full-length. So if you like this one, check out their other ones. Chef's Kiss. So the whole premise of the book is that there's this annual Christmas party going on and they have to go together, and it's just so hot. Just read this one, it's a good time. Next we have Melt for Us by Molly Doyle. This one won't be everyone's cup of tea because it does have those dark romance trigger warnings, so just check those, but I personally really like this one. It's fun, and it has a full-length novel now called Bloodshed. This follows a group of 3 men. They're usually masked, and the first novella is called Scream for Us, but I don't think you really need to read the Halloween one to read the Christmas one. In this one, we follow Quinn again, and she's with her men in a cabin, and they get snowed in. You know, it's a blizzard situation, so that's really fun. And these ones are just steamy, just unique. I haven't read a book like it before. We have Ghostface involved. We have really sweet characters, and in Bloodshed, the full-length novel, you get to learn more about them. So a lot of the complaints about these novellas, if you look at bad reviews, it's usually that the story was lacking or the plot wasn't there as much. And with novellas, I feel the same way about a lot of steamy ones, but the full-length novel delivers that content that you've been wanting. If you were lacking that story, you get character development, you get past lives of the characters that are masked. But in this one, we have them in Santa hats with nothing else on. So if you want to get down and dirty on Christmas Eve, this is the one for you. Next up is another novella. This one is by T.L. Swan, His Christmas List. This one I loved last year. It follows a girl named Holly and a guy named Jack. Holly is going on a business trip to Alaska, and everything's just going wrong. She's missing her flights. Something about her assistant goes wrong too. Like, calls aren't going through. She has to rent this car, and she finally thinks that she's got it under control. But then she's driving the car in a snowstorm, or I think it's raining, and she just doesn't know that in Alaska, the rain means you're going to like not be in a safe situation. So she ends up getting on the side of the road, and then this guy named Jack had a cabin nearby. He was worried about her because he didn't know what was going on with the car that's by his cabin. So he comes out to help. He's grumpy. He's like, "What are you doing on the road right now, woman?" And then he offers to take her to her hotel. Then they go to the hotel, and guess what? It's closed. So you can guess what happens from there. We have them in the same cabin together. And she's a little bit uptight businesswoman, so you can imagine that she shows her other side in this cabin, and it is so cute. It's so good. Next we have a full-length novel. This one is called Across Country Christmas. This one's like more Hallmark movie, less steam, but I really liked this one. I remember, I think I cried when I read this last year. It just had such cozy vibes, and it had a really meaningful message at the end. So in this one we follow Lauren and Will. Will is Lauren's childhood crush, also her brother's best friend, and what happens is she's going home for the holidays to see her brother and his new baby, but his brother arranged her to be picked up by Will, the childhood crush and best friend. So they end up being in a car together to go all the way across to the Midwest. This really fun cross-country road trip that wasn't exactly what she had planned. She is really like, stick to the plan, let's go straight across to get to my brother. And Will is just derailing all of the plans that she had to get there as quickly as possible. He's going on these excursions and all these things, and she's just like, I'm done. She's trying to like protect her heart at the same time because she thinks that he's a player. So there's all of those things wrapped up into a very Hallmarky type bow. But if you want something that has little steam in it, I don't even think there really was any, then this one's for you. Next we have Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. This is another shorter read, but it is packed with goodness. It's packed with plot and steam. I was very impressed with the way that we had a lot of character development and plot in this one, regardless of how thin it is. This one is a grumpy sunshine, but reversed. So the woman Stella, she is a grump. And then we have cheery Aiden, who runs a department store and is running it for the holidays. And then one day Stella comes across this department store and she absolutely hates the window display. So like the marketing, the whole arrangement, she's like, what even is this? This is not good. So they end up striking up a conversation about how she would do it. And she actually just got out of prison as well, so she can't really find a job. So he offers her a job to work for him and create the window displays for this New York department store. And things ensue. The chemistry between them is believable, which I didn't think so about her other book, My Killer Vacation. That one I didn't love. So it's a hit or miss for me with Tessa Bailey books, but for this one I really did like it. And I just thought it was bright, cheerful. It had the steam, the tension, real life conversations, and also department store banging. So what more can you ask for? Lastly, we have Faking Under the Mistletoe. This one was a surprise for me. I think it was 2 years ago that I read this one. It's on KU, or at least it still should be. It is a fake dating romance, office setting once again. And we have Olivia. She is very into Christmas and she's all about the holiday spirit. And then her boss, Asher, who is, you know, the Grinchy character. He is trying to make his ex jealous, I think. Something to do with that is why they're fake dating. I don't remember quite what the situation was, but they end up kissing under the mistletoe. They go on a bunch of these dates together that are like Christmassy dates. And there's also an underlying theme in this book that I thought was really well done in terms of women in office settings. I won't go too much into it. I feel like that's a kind of a spoiler, but I liked that there was some serious conversations in this kind of fluffier read. It had a light to medium amount of steam, so if you're looking for something that has a little bit less than the smuttier titles from the beginning, this one might be good. I love a good fake dating romance, so add in some Christmas flair and I am there. I'm rhyming now. I should probably go, but those are all of the Christmas reads that I have for you this year. I'm going to be reading a lot more this year, hopefully vlog style, so look out for that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. You should see me in your sub box a little bit extra this month, and if not, subscribe down below. What are you doing? And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.